Breaking news from Ethiopia, where Ethiopian Prime Minister has reshuffled the military command, the senior leadership of the Ethiopian National Defense Force has been reshuffled. 66 officers have been promoted. Is Birhano Jula, the Field Marshal, going to be relieved? Is he going to be replaced by another general? Which general could replace Birhano Jula? What about Ababa Tadase, general since 2021, Deputy Chief of Staff? Was Yilma Mirdasa promoted or not? Why wasn't he promoted? Welcome to My Views and News. Thanks for watching the channel. In an interesting move today, Ethiopian Prime Minister promoted 66 military officers, top officers, generals, lieutenant generals, brigadier generals, major generals. This is the first time in the last 5 years since I started covering the Horn of Africa that I am seeing such an extensive reshuffle and promotion on top level in the Ethiopian National Defense Force. A similar reshuffle happened, I think, at the start of Tigray War. In November 2020, Tigray War erupted, and I think in the first week of that war, Ethiopian Prime Minister reshuffled the top tier of the military and intelligence agencies, military chief, intelligence agency chief, and others were replaced. New appointments were made. Since then, since 2020, rather after November 2020, we did not see such large scale elevation of the military officers. Let's have a look at the names first. Which generals, lieutenant generals, major generals have been promoted. Then we'll try to analyze the reasons behind this decision. Firstly, 4 lieutenant generals have been promoted to the rank of full general. The 4 are Lieutenant General Elimishat Degefe, Lieutenant General Desta Abiche, Lieutenant General Yaimer Mekonnen, Diribba Mekonnen. The 4 are now full generals. 1 is Amhara. Yaimer Mekonnen is an Amhara. The other 3 are Oromo or from the south. No Tigrayan. So 4 promoted to the rank of full general. 2 have been promoted to the rank of lieutenant general. They were major generals. Now they have been promoted to the rank of lieutenant generals. They are Kifalio Md Tsima, Kindo Gizo Tegegen. 17 have been promoted to the rank of major general. 43 have been promoted to the rank of brigadier general. 2 or 3 are Tigrayans out of 66 officers. So in total, 66 have been elevated. Ethiopia, interestingly, no promotion given to Yilma Mirdasa. Yilma Mirdasa is the chief of the Ethiopian Air Force. He's a lieutenant general. 4 lieutenant generals have been elevated to the rank of general. Why is that Yilma has not been promoted? Well, 2 reasons. Either Yilma is going to be assigned with a big task, a big portfolio. Is going to replace General Jula, or he is being sidelined. There are two possible reasons. Otherwise, the man who is head of Air Force, he is not being elevated. Other lieutenant generals are being promoted. Now, the reasons. What are the reasons behind this extensive promotions in the top tier of the Ethiopian National Defense Force? Before having a look at the reasons, is Jula going to stay in office as the Field Marshal of the Ethiopian National Defense Force? Jula took over as Field Marshal in 2022. He took over as Chief of Staff, I think, in 2020. Rumors are there, by the way, that Jula is going to depart. Birhanu Jula going to depart, and the four generals who have been promoted, one of them could replace Jula. Yilma cannot replace Jula, I think, technically, because Yilma now is Lieutenant General. How can a Lieutenant General lead generals? So it means that the four promoted generals or the other generals already promoted, they could replace Birhanu Jula, it seems. And the strongest contender reportedly is Elimishit Dagefe, that he could replace Birhanu Jula, but rumors, not confirmed. Question is, why did the Prime Minister of Ethiopia made this? By the way, the promotions, the order of these promotions is signed, the notification is signed by the President of Ethiopia. But Prime Minister recommends, President signs. President is basically a symbolic figure, a ceremonial figure in Ethiopian democracy. In most parliamentary democracies, a president just endorses prime minister's decisions. So the real power lies with the prime minister. The president is only a signing authority. Three reasons, I think, behind the decision. Firstly, maybe the prime minister wants to build a mega million Ethiopian National Defense Force, and he wants to expand the pool of ENDF leadership. If you want to raise a 2 million army, 2 million military, Jula was heard saying, you need to have more officers. That is why maybe extensive promotions have happened. Second reason could be replacement of senior officers. Jula, maybe Yelma, Babotadase, and others could be replaced. That is why new officers have been promoted. In coming days, we could see new appointments in top positions. Third reason behind the decision could be the government's efforts to boost the morale of the Ethiopian military command. Maybe Ethiopian Abiy's government wants to prepare the channels for war. It wants to prepare channels for prolonged internal conflict, maybe for a new external conflict too. That is why channels are being awarded with promotions to boost their morale, to support government's narrative of war, internal or external war. These are three likely explanations behind the interesting decision made by the Ethiopian PM today. Top tier of the Ethiopian military is now being dominated by generals from the Oromia region. Tigray has almost no real infants now in the Ethiopian National Defense Force. Amhara infants is also decreasing in the top ranks of the Ethiopian National Defense Force. Thank you for watching.